Hey everybody, welcome to the new Zeo Play podcast. Long gone are the days of Tio with Zeo and now Neo. And now we have a new fresh podcast tossed just for you called Geek Salad. I'm your host Zeo, and with me is my co-host Neo.
How is it that we're like 30 seconds into this and you've already given me enough space to make 4 dick jokes?
You know, it's just how our podcasts lead. We always go with the dick jokes. I mean, we talk about games and dicks. That's kind of what we do.
Games and dicks. Best things going.
Again, welcome to the podcast, everybody. This is a new style of podcast where it's slightly more formatted than Tio with Zeo was. Less tea involvement. We're not slurping anymore. But we're going to just talk. We're going to talk about game topics, and then hopefully you guys can join our discussion. You're supposed to fill in my silence.
There was nothing to fill in. You were introing. It's your channel.
You gotta talk, too. You're the co-host.
Oh, okay. I am co-hosting currently. Co-hosting has been done.
Okay, so let's just start off by talking, man. Like, what have you been up to?
I'm still trying to competitive Overwatch, but yeah, it's not going as well as I thought it would.
No?
No, not really. The team's a bit of a mess, and the guy who was hosting the league we were playing in has just had a tantrum and destroyed the league. So,
Great.
Yep. So yeah, that's not a thing anymore. I mean, the team's still a thing. It's just we're not competing in anything at the moment, so we're gonna just keep practicing and move on somewhere. I've also just been exploring in the games department recently and just playing some of my old games, checking out some new games. Really into MMOs at the moment. Like, they're great.
Like what? What are you playing?
Blade and Soul, a bit of DBO, and I downloaded Terra. Haven't really played it yet, but I've downloaded it. So yeah, I'm excited to check that out.
Nice. I've been playing a lot of the Darwin Project. Just so much of it. I can't stop playing it. I love the community of that game so much. Every time I play.
When I went on with you, you were terrible.
You know what? It's because we duoed. It's different when you're solo and duo. The environment, it's so different, Neo. You don't even know, man. Like, have you played any solo?
I've played a little bit solo.
Okay, well, like, then you should know that it's different when you have to rely on another person. When you and I were playing, we were just yelling at each other.
Yeah, but that's not relying on another person. That's me having a go at you for being a spastic. It's different.
Whatever, okay. You were like the worst teammate ever. You missed a guy like 4 feet in front of you.
I didn't. What do you mean missed a guy? I wasn't shooting the bow. I was just holding right click.
Why weren't you shooting him then?
Because I didn't know you had to click left click to shoot it. I thought it'd be like every other game where you hold the right click, he pulls it back, and when you let go, it shoots. No, you have to pull it back, then right click. I was so confused. I was just running around, pulling the bow back, pulling the bow back, pulling the bow back. Not actually shooting any arrows.
I remember yelling at you like, Neo, just shoot him. He's right in front of you because he was shooting at me.
I'm trying.
Oh, man. But besides that, I started playing this one game. I actually put it on my channel. It's called Simulacra. So it's an interesting game, kind of like a Doki Doki mixed with real life. You find this girl's cell phone, and you have to essentially like snoop through her shit to find her, because apparently she's missing.
Oh, I'm worried what sort of shit you're finding on there.
I'm curious too. I mean, it's an interesting game though. I just put it on the channel, but I quite enjoyed it a lot more than I expected I would.
Theo, send me any of the nudes you find.
Okay, I will. That's all I got.
So yeah, you haven't been doing much recently then? Not in the gaming department anyway.
Well, no, but I mean, I've been doing a lot of behind the scenes. Like, I redecorated my channel essentially. I made a bunch of new graphics, and then starting game. I mean, you're familiar with game.
I am familiar with game. Have you shared game with your audience yet?
I have. Well, at the time of talking with you, I haven't. But, like, by the time this podcast comes out, I have. So, yeah, I told them all about game. You guys should go check it out still. It's pretty awesome. A group community, a bunch of YouTubers collabing together to make content.
How many videos have we got out so far?
Well, at the moment of this recording, 2. Hopefully, by the time this releases, there'll be a few more.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So, Neo,
I am a Neo.
since you were playing Overwatch competitively, it's a good way for me to casually segue into esports.
Esports.
Yeah.
Ooh. I got a love
So
for esports.
I do too. Like something I recently read on, I was scrolling through Reddit and I found an article talking about esports growing in the coming years. Um, there's predictions by the amount of money esport has been making that esports will be making $1.5 billion a year by 2020. Um, to kind of put that in perspective, the NFL, the biggest sport in basically America, I don't know how big it is across the seas, um, makes 14 billion a year roughly. And something like Major League Baseball, NBA, they make around 10 billion less. So the fact that we're hitting the $1 billion mark for esports is a big deal. And schools are actually starting to accept more scholarships for esports. So you can actually get into a college on an esports scholarship.
I know that in my college that I'm currently attending, we have an esports team, and you can go and participate in tournaments and stuff, and you get
That's awesome.
benefits for being in the esports team.
Mm-hmm. That's
I
super cool.
just, I just didn't play any of the games when the tournaments were going on. It
Uh,
was, it
what
was
games do they
LOL and it was
support?
Overwatch.
Oh,
LOL,
lol,
Overwatch, and
makes
Project
sense.
Cars, and
Uh,
I wasn't playing any of those games
really?
at the time of the
Project
tournament.
Cars.
Yeah, Project Cars is pretty popular competitively.
Really? I had no idea, honestly. I remember the
Yeah,
game being like launched years ago and how excited Sony was over and everything, but
yeah,
I didn't think it took off.
yeah. I had quite a few friends who tried to get me to buy it, and I never did because I'm a stingy cunt.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Well, over here in America, at least, we have 76 official institutions that are accepting esports scholarships right now, and that's only growing. So that's pretty awesome.
I want to come to America and get an esports scholarship.
I know, right? Like, it's hard to imagine that, like, in America, we have this basically national holiday for the Super Bowl. You know, everyone gets together and watches the Super Bowl, whether it's for the commercials or for the actual sport.
For
People
the
kind of,
commercials? Wait, people watch it for the commercials.
oh no, it's a big deal over here, man. Like
That's
people,
fucking weird.
I last year I literally got together with my friends. We hung out for 5 hours and watched the commercials. Like
Why?
it's the thing. That's our commercials on the Super Bowl are huge. Like it's 30-second ad of just jokes. And how ridiculous can commercials be? Are you familiar with all the Tide commercials from the guy from Stranger Things?
No.
Okay, you need to do a little YouTubing later. Type 2018 Tide commercials.
Like as in Watertide?
Like Tide as in a laundry brand.
Okay, right. That doesn't help at all. As in spelt tide the same way that you
Yeah,
spell a
like
tide
a
from the
Rip
ocean.
Tide. Yeah.
Oh yeah, a riptide, yeah.
Okay. It has the guy from Stranger Things, that cop guy. You know who I'm talking about?
Hopper.
Hopper. Yeah, it has Hopper from Stranger Things. He's the main dude in the commercials, and they're pretty funny.
Yeah.
But anyways, so it's kind of crazy to think that in our future, I think we can see esports being just as big as, or bigger than the Super Bowl one day.
hmm
I
Well, I
think,
mean, if you need to take into consideration how much money it's making at the moment, and that's why, like, I've been following OWL, Overwatch League.
mhm.
I don't know if I'm assuming you've heard something about it. It's like
Yeah,
all over Twitch and fucking everything at the moment. And Blizzard are making like $10,000 a day from the ticket sales going on.
that's
Like
insane.
that is a lot of money,
Yeah,
and
it's crazy.
it's not exactly a small thing. Like I mean, I'm sure that's the same as some huge sports are making in some countries. Like I don't know. I just think it's mad how much money they're making off it.
No, I
That's
agree.
that's just ticket sales as well. That's not even taking into consideration all the monetizing and all the other stuff that goes into making money. I don't know. I've never ran tournaments and esports shit, so I don't know all the shit that makes the money. But there is a lot more than just ticket sales that's making money.
Right. No, I agree with you. It's just like the reason I think it could possibly be bigger than the Super Bowl, because the Super Bowl is kind of just in America. Like, I tell you about the commercials and everything, you're not familiar. But the one thing that we have that's worldwide is soccer, or you call it football.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that the world shares. And I think the reason esports can be bigger is because that's also the thing the world shares. Like, the world competes together in an esport. When there's a League of Legends world tournament, you see everybody from around the world.
Yeah.
So I definitely think there's a lot of potential into esports growing, and I'm really excited to see what's coming.
Yeah, I think as soon as people become a little bit more relaxed about gaming, because I think there is still a slight stigma around gaming at the moment.
Yeah.
I think as soon as that fades, esports is just going to take over.
Well, that's just going to fade with people dying.
Yeah.
Let's face it, the stigma comes from the older generation. And not trying to hate on the older generation or say like millennials are the way to go, but ultimately it's just as generations die off. Yeah, old people are the worst. No, it's just as generations die off, we're going to grow and the things we're interested in are going to become more popular. You know, the 80s is super popular right now because literally everybody in their 30s and 40s are from the 80s. So,
So as soon as it's my generation that takes over, as soon as it's like I'm the adult, as soon as I'm the 30-year-old, esports is just going to be everywhere.
Yep, everywhere, and then memes. Instead of commercials, there'll be memes.
Oh no, I'd kill myself. I couldn't cope.
Could you imagine? Be like, let's take a break from this match to give you 2.5 minutes of memes.
Yeah. Oh, God. She wasn't ready.
But no, like, I'm excited for that, and you know, just as excited as esports coming, I'm also excited about E3 coming this year, Neo.
Ooh, E3. I really don't know that much about E3, but yeah, E3.
Well, E3 is a big part of the gaming community. It's something we look forward to every year. It's the one conference where everyone are supposed to come out and show everything they got, and then some conferences fall flat. Last year was a bad conference. And so I think E3 could be a good chunk of our conversation today.
Okay, let's move on to the E3ing then.
Okay. So with E3 we have the big studios coming out. You have Sony and Microsoft, obviously. You have EA, the big developer, Bethesda, Ubisoft usually, and then Nintendo sometimes joins the conference, and sometimes they just do screenings.
Don't forget about Square Enix.
Oh yeah, Square Enix. They're actually going to be in a conference this year. They don't always do something, but when they do, everyone gets excited because they want Kingdom Hearts 3. That's what it boils down to. Everyone wants Kingdom Hearts 3. So I have an idea. Let's play a game, Neo.
A game of.
We're gonna let's try to guess what's gonna come out. Okay, how do you think? We'll go in order of the conferences. I have a list here. So EA is gonna start off E3. They're starting Saturday, June 9th.
Right.
What do you think are they gonna focus on? Well, if you had to pick 3 games that you are going to guess are going to be in E3, what do you think they're going to release?
So there's of course going to be something to do with their sports games, i.e. FIFA, and what's the...
Yeah, they're going to release sports games religiously. Don't include that bullshit.
Okay. We got FIFA, NBA, and what's the American football one called?
NFL.
Do you remember? No.
Oh, football. That's FIFA.
The American football one. Yeah, what is it you call it? Football.
NFL.
And yeah, what's the game called?
Madden.
Madden, that's the one, right? So them 3 are definitely gonna happen.
Well, of course, they're gonna release sports games annually. They're gonna do all of them.
And they have to do, like, if they don't do something, I'm gonna freak the fuck out about Anthem because I need to know what's happening.
They own BioWare that's doing Anthem.
Oh man, something needs to happen with Anthem.
It's true.
It's had a pretty rocky, very very rocky start, but I think it has potential to be a good game, and I'm excited to see what they do with it.
Okay. Do you think they'll give us a release date for Anthem?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
The thing is, because of everything that's happened with Anthem and everything that's happened with Anthem and EA so far, I don't know if they can give us a release date yet.
Yeah.
But if they can, then they probably will.
I think they're going to give us a release window, and then when that time comes, they're going to push it back.
Yeah.
All right, so you got Anthem. What else do you think? Not including their sports games. Do you have anything?
From EA. I don't know. Maybe like something to do with Battlefront DLC or something. I don't know.
Oh, fair. Battlefront 2? Yeah,
Mhm.
I could see that. I easily see some Star Wars. I also think they might have something to do with what game is there? Not Call of Duty. That's Activision. Their
Yeah.
version, Battlefield. I think they're gonna have
Oh,
something to do with
Battlefield.
Battlefield.
Yeah.
It's been a while since they've done a Battlefield game, and they usually go from Battlefield, and then they did Battlefront. So there's got to be something with Battlefield. I think
Yeah.
that's kind of their staples. Hey guys, we got sports. Our new game, Anthem, because we're not doing other games. And then we have Battlefield and DLC for Star Wars.
Basically, we're just gonna continue to roll out the same shit we roll out every year.
That's what they do, man. That's why they're such a big conglomerate. Because literally, those sports games, everybody who
They
plays,
just play it safe.
anybody who's played NBA from 1999 is playing NBA now. So they're buying that same game every year with the new roster and shit. So that's what fuels it. And then, of course, it doesn't matter what wrong they do. Even the Star Wars thing they did
No
to
matter
us.
how big they fuck up, they have sports games, so don't worry
They
about
have
it.
sports games. It's going to pay for their fuck-ups. All right, okay. Enough about E3. We're moving on. Next is going to be the first big conference, Microsoft. They have a big 3-hour window.
You just said let's move on from E3. He meant EA, guys. We're not moving on from E3. Don't
Oh,
worry.
no, yeah. Yeah, we're moving on from EA, going to Microsoft now. So this is the first big conference that they're going to be hitting. What do you think, if you had to pick 3 games Microsoft's going to focus on? Because, well, last year they didn't focus on games. They just focused on shit.
3.
You got to pick 3. 3. We're not going to
Halo,
go...
Halo something.
Halo something, yeah. I agree.
Halo something.
Okay, yep, that's mine too. Halo something.
I don't know, bro. Maybe more talk about more about their exclusives, 'cause if they have any more at the moment. I don't know.
I mean, their big game they're pushing right now is Sea of Thieves, which had so much hype behind it, but then lost steam real fast because of the lack of content.
I never even had a look at Sea of Thieves.
It had a lot of potential. It was just so minimal with content. Like, you get on a boat and you fetch something, and then you bring it back, and then rinse, repeat. That's literally Sea of Thieves. I mean, obviously there's a little more to it. You can have ship fights, and it's a lot of fun with friends, but there's no like single player.
I will always say this, yeah. Any game can be a lot of fun with friends. It doesn't make it a good game.
That's fair.
You do remember what was it? Tom Clancy's which was it? That 4-player co-op one.
The Division?
Was it the Division? No, not the Division. The Division's a different one.
You talking about Wildlands?
Wildlands. Right. I had so much fun playing that game until my friends stopped playing it, and then I tried to play it on my own, and I realized that game is broken, retarded, and boring as fuck. Okay. Like it's the definition of a bad game, but it's great with friends. You know, like it.
Yeah.
That's the best example I can come up with.
Okay. Well, I mean, okay. So for my 3, I do have Halo. I agree. There's gonna be Halo something. They'll never let that die. Sea of Thieves. I think there's gonna be DLC or some kind of big patch they're gonna release for Sea of Thieves. And there's a game that they talked about a couple years ago. Was super popular. Crackdown 3, and then they went radio silent. So I think they'll probably revitalize that. It's been a few years.
I don't know what Crackdown is.
Crackdown is a series where the entire world is destructible.
It's destructible. Shit, yeah. As soon as you started saying it, I remembered. Yeah, no, Crackdown looks awesome.
So I think they'll probably talk about Crackdown 3. But those are my 3. I'm going to go Halo, Sea of Thieves, Crackdown 3, and then, you know, obviously they'll talk about some other games. But
I'd love to see some Crackdown 3.
Well, we'll see. Last year was their shit conference, and Microsoft's pretty hit and miss. So, like, one year they have a good conference, the next year they have a shit conference. The year after that, they have a good conference. We'll see. Maybe this is their good one.
All right, what we got next?
Next is Bethesda. I don't know much about Bethesda, though. I mean, I know they do their Fallout, and then they have their Elder Scrolls games. But other than that, what do they do?
they are not doing Fallout and Elder Scrolls at the moment.
So what the hell is their
from what I've
conference gonna
read.
be? Just them
Right.
being, oh hey guys, we're gonna release Skyrim on on your mom's cell phone.
On your, yeah, I was about to say on mobile. Skyrim on mobile, guys. Let's go. No, yeah, they might drop another Skyrim. If they do, I quit Bethesda forever. There's a piece of bullshit.
You heard it here, guys. He's quitting Bethesda.
I'm sick of Skyrim. Don't let me rephrase that. I still play Skyrim. I still play the shit out of Skyrim. But I am sick of them releasing new content for Skyrim. I want a new game, no more Skyrim. But from what I've seen and read so far, their next Elder Scrolls is not in development at the moment.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know, something about new technology. I don't know. Fuck, they came up with excuses, but anyway, that's not in development at the moment. Or that's what they're saying anyway. Not everyone agrees with that. Some people reckon they're lying, but that's just speculation.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe they're working on the next Fallout. If I remember correctly, I remember reading something about that they're not doing that yet, but they have got a new project in the works, something that they haven't done before. So I'm excited to see what that is. Maybe they'll talk about that in this conference. I don't know.
Okay,
We'll
so
find out.
They're not doing Elder Scrolls, which is their fantasy world game. They're not doing Fallout, which is their apocalyptic style game. The only designs they kind of haven't touched upon, I suppose, would be like
Space.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Space, that's a good thought. Or steampunk.
Yeah.
What do you think they're going to touch on? I think it's going to be Cyberpunk.
Dishonored is kind of steampunky, isn't it?
Oh, was that by Bethesda? Yeah, that is steampunk. So
is,
they have touched it. You're right. So they touched steampunk. So we got space and cyberpunk. I think it's going to be cyberpunk.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, the reason I think it's going to be cyberpunk because of CD Projekt Red's newest game. Their game Cyberpunk 2077 or something
doesn't
like
matter.
that.
Dishonored isn't Bethesda. I don't know why I thought that for a second.
Oh, it's not?
I was just trying to think. Is it? No, it isn't. I'm pretty sure it
What
isn't.
is it then?
Who
makes Bethesda?
Let me Google it. One second.
All right. He's Googling, guys. But I still think it's going to be Cyberpunk. I think they're going to choose a Cyberpunk theme because CD Projekt Red is choosing Cyberpunk. And that's probably going to be a trend we'll see. Especially we have Beyond.
I don't know. Wait, you also have to look at what Bethesda does. Bethesda mainly does like these single player-esque type games, these storyline type games. Yeah. They might just try doing something with the themes they already use, but like step into a new environment. Like you never know, they could come up with some like competitive game, some kind of shooter. You never know.
No, I don't think that's gonna.
You never know. I mean, they've tried MMOs, and that was AIDS. Exactly. I mean, it's a good MMO. It's just I just hate that they put the Elder Scrolls title on it. It's a really good MMO, but
right. No, I don't think that. I think they're gonna go Cyberpunk. I think the direction video games are going right now, we kind of follow themes of one another, like all the developers do. And The Witcher was out with all the Elder Scrolls, and then everyone else had their own little fantasy style game. Now that CD Projekt Red's doing Cyberpunk 2077, we also have another cyberpunk style game called Detroit Being Human that's coming out. So I definitely think they're gonna have a cyberpunk game.
Wait, have they spoken about Rage 2 for this?
You said Rage?
Rage 2.
No.
Have you heard anything about it? Isn't
I've
that
heard
Bethesda
of Rage?
game?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was Bethesda though. Was it?
I don't know. Is
Let's Google it. What were you Googling the first time?
I just Googled Dishonored.
Oh, who makes Dishonored?
Arcane Studios.
Right, but who's the developer?
Yeah. Arcane Studios. Oh fuck, I don't remember now.
All right, I'll look.
Wait.
You look up Rage.
Yeah, Rage is a Bethesda game. The developer was Dinga Baka, whatever the fuck that is.
No. See, Dishonored is Bethesda. Yeah.
I thought. Wait, it is. I fucking knew it.
So they've touched steampunk. They've touched fantasy. They haven't touched space yet.
Zio, I'm sure they're speaking about Rage 2. I'm looking for this now. Rage 2.
Okay. What do you see?
Right, you ready? Rage 2 trailer leaked. Bethesda E3 2018 game. Told you. I knew I heard about Rage somewhere.
Okay. All right, fine. All right, Rage 2. There you go. You have that.
There we go.
Let's move on. Jeez. All right, next we got Monday. So the next day, starting fresh, we got Square Enix. They're doing a conference this year. I'm hyped. I'm hyped for Square Enix. I always get hyped and then I'm always disappointed.
Let me guess. You're waiting for Kingdom Hearts.
No, I'm not actually. I'm so over Kingdom Hearts at this point.
Oh,
I love the Kingdom Hearts games. Don't get me wrong. I love them. But it has been so long for 3, and they've released so many dumb sequels and spin-off titles of the Kingdom Hearts series. I'm just done. I'm not waiting for it anymore. I've moved on with my life. Instead, I've held on to a game that's been out way longer. Final Fantasy VII.
Okay.
There's been a rumor of Final Fantasy VII remake for like 20 plus years, and I've been holding on to that. So
yeah, you have spoken about this a few times before.
I'm really, really, really hoping Square Enix is gonna talk about Final Fantasy VII remake. Something.
Yeah.
They got to, man. They announced it a few years ago, and I cried, and it was a big moment for me. Now and then they've just been quiet. Nothing else has come out. So this year they have to. I feel like they gotta release something. They're gonna give us something. A window. A year. I just want a year of knowing when it's come out.
Yeah, I'd be really excited to try that. I mean, I didn't get into Final Fantasy until Final Fantasy 15, but I really enjoyed that game, so I'd like to see what the other titles are like.
If I had to predict 3 games I think they will talk about. One, I'm 100% confident. My number 1 pick will be their new Tomb Raider game they're coming out with. That's going to be there.
Yeah.
100%. After that, I definitely think they're going to talk about Final Fantasy 15. They've been pushing Final Fantasy 15 like crazy the last couple years, and I know they recently announced the full release of it. It's like called the King's version or something like that, where it has all the DLC.
Is Final Fantasy on PC yet, or is
no, I don't think it is. They might announce that it'll be on PC.
Because it was meant to be getting a PC release, so you're right.
Yeah, I know 15 will be there. They'll talk about 15 in some way or another. And then my third one is just my hope. Final Fantasy 7. That's what I want. So, what 3 do you think they're going to talk about? I'm done. I mean, you can say Kingdom Hearts 3, but I think we're going to be disappointed.
I really have no idea. I haven't been up to date as much with Square Enix, so I can't tell you.
Well, just wildly throw games out there. What do you think?
I would definitely like to see a Final Fantasy 7. I'm really into their games since I tried 15. I ended up watching all the movies and shit, and I've read loads of shit on it. So yeah, I'm really into the lore of the universe at the moment. So I'd definitely like to see Final Fantasy 7.
Well, 7's different. Like every numbered series has
a different universe. Yeah, I meant as in I've watched from different universes and read different stuff. I was like, I never got to play the game, so I'll just read all about it.
You have a PS4. You should get Final Fantasy 7. They re-released it in HD in quotations, but like
my PS4 has give up on me, so at the moment I can't do that.
Well, you can also buy it on PC. You can get it on Steam for like $5, I think.
Ooh,
you need to play 7 before the remake, though, because the remake may change things and it may alter your view on the characters.
Why would they do that to me?
Because let me give you a small history of Final Fantasy 7. So, Final Fantasy 7 comes out. Main character's name is Cloud. He's this cocky ex-soldier, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then, without going into spoilers, things happen, and he gets a little moody, but then he goes back to being cocky again. Crap happens, big stuff goes down, kind of depressing stuff happens in the game.
Yep.
Years later, they release a movie called Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. Cloud is kind of really moody and emo in that movie, and it suits his character development for that movie. Just the movie. Yeah. And ever since then, that movie was so popular with the fans because it was the first Final Fantasy connected universe we've ever seen, and everyone kind of latched onto that Cloud. And every time they released a Final Fantasy game that ever had Cloud in it, he was always portrayed as a moody individual.
So they took away his cockiness.
Yes, so I'm really worried that my biggest fear for the remake is in the remake they'll portray him as a moody baby.
I've seen the movie. I know what you're on about his moody personality, but I don't know the cocky part of it.
So that's why you gotta play the original. You gotta see the cockiness, and like I get why they portray him that way, but I just hope they do it similar fashion they did it in the original game.
Yeah, I get you.
So play it, Neo, and then we'll talk about it one day when you play it. We'll make a whole podcast about Final Fantasy VII. All right, let's just move on then, I guess. Ubisoft is right after Square Enix.
Okay, Ubisoft.
They're gonna have a Just Dance game. They've been releasing Just Dance like they haven't stopped releasing Just Dance, even though I didn't realize that game's so popular. Like I thought it was super popular for like the first 2 titles and it died, but apparently I've been wrong. So
fair enough. Yeah,
I think they'll
Just
be.
Dance. I still see streamers playing Just Dance all the time. So yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I've seen streamers play Just Dance.
Man.
It's fucking hilarious. I watched one of some guy playing Just Dance without music, and you can't see the game, and he looks like a right twat. It was hilarious.
Just a dude dancing without any music, huh?
Yeah.
My second guess, I'd have to say there'll be a Tom Clancy game. Tom
Clancy.
They always announce a Tom Clancy game.
Yeah, the Tom Clancy games are quite popular.
And then maybe an Assassin's Creed. I don't know. They used to release Assassin's Creed every year, but last one it was 2 years after.
Which I'm glad because I liked I haven't got to play it for myself, but I've watched someone who I bought it for play it, and it looked really, really good. Like I really like the look of it. It wasn't what I thought Assassin's Creed. It wasn't the typical Assassin's Creed. They changed a lot of stuff, but I liked the new take on it.
Right.
It really made combat interesting, and I'd like to see some storytelling that was a bit better, a bit more like the older Assassin's Creed. I really enjoyed the story of like
I hated
the
older
Assassin's
ones.
Creed.
I didn't. One of the reasons I didn't like the older Assassin's Creeds was because of the story. Like I was with the actual story, but every time they went to Desmond, they'd go into that alien stuff, and I thought that was dumb. I thought it really detracted from the games.
Okay. See, I Brotherhood was my favorite always. So
Brotherhood was really good. It was my favorite. Well, of the older series, it was my favorite too, but not because of the story, but because of how it played.
I liked both. I thought they really balanced that game well between the story and the gameplay.
I was with it until the alien part, man. Like I'm with the whole going into the bloodline and going to the past and playing that character. But then once you introduce the aliens, it was like, ugh.
If it makes you feel any better, it technically wasn't aliens. It was just like an ancient race.
They're practically aliens, Neo.
They're not aliens. They were on Earth.
Oh my god, whatever.
Okay, in that case, a dog is an alien, Zio.
Okay.
Well, fuck you. It's just a different species that were on the Earth. Fuck you, bro.
We're not going to get into this argument. Anyways, I think they'll probably talk about an Assassin's Creed game. So I guess the topic then would be, what Assassin's Creed game do you think they're going to... What kind of style game do you think they're going to do?
What, as in like the new or the old style, or like
where do you think, what era, where do you think it's going to be at? Because I personally, my favorite one was Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Syndicate, really?
I love Syndicate.
I mean, I think it was right, but it was nowhere near a favorite. I preferred both Revelations and Brotherhood to that.
I didn't like Revelations. Brotherhood was good, but no, Syndicate's my favorite because one, it's my favorite time period. And Syndicate was the first Assassin's Creed that was pretty widely regarded as good. And then Origins was also widely regarded as good. So I personally thought they're going to do a continuation of Syndicate.
I don't know. I kind of just I want a storyline again. I liked how the first few Assassin's Creed had a consistent storyline. I'd like to see that continued at some point. But
So
I don't think
they're going to continue a game then.
Yeah, they're going to keep jumping time periods. That's what I think they're going to do.
You do?
Like they keep setting it in different places and different times to give players a different experience, and I think that's what they're going to go with for a little while. And if not, then I think they'll continue Origins because Origins was so popular.
I mean, I don't think they're going to jump, but I do agree. I think they would continue Origins. As much as I like Syndicate and I thought that was a really good idea, I do agree. They'll probably continue Origins.
It just took off the best. It's just the way the world works, isn't it?
Yeah, moneymaker. All right. And then Ubisoft. I didn't predict a third game. Ubisoft will probably have like some dumb little childish...
Skull and Bones. We spoke about this earlier. Skull and Bones.
Oh yeah, Skull and Bones. They'll probably talk about that. That's right. It's basically Sea of Thieves, but like bigger and more hopeful, but at the same time, it's made by Ubisoft, so it'll be buggy as shit.
It'll be like Sea of Thieves, except bigger and doesn't work.
Yep. I mean, Sea of Thieves barely worked as is. So, I mean, there was a moment in Sea of Thieves where I was riding in a boat, and literally the boat leapt off the water and dropped me in the water and floated off to the sky.
What?
That happened in Sea of Thieves. So I can imagine that happening, like, in Skull and Bones, but at the same time, when I look over at my friend, I won't see his face. It'll just be eyeballs floating in the water, and I'll shit myself. So yeah, it's a good idea. I think they'll talk about Skull and Bones too. I'm pretty excited for that. If it pans out, I'm pretty excited.
You know what? I know we're talking about Ubisoft at the moment, but wouldn't you like to see a Fable from Microsoft?
Yeah, actually, I would like to see a Fable. They haven't done one in a while.
No, they haven't. I'd like to see a Fable.
I think the reason they stopped is because here's how I view Microsoft. They create a cash cow like Halo, Fable, Gears of War, successful individual titles, and they will ride it until it doesn't make money. The last Fable wasn't received well, so I think that's when they trashed it.
Yeah.
And Halo, for some reason, even though critically a lot of them are pretty mixed, they still make a shit ton of money.
Because of Halo.
Yeah. So I would like to see another Fable. That would be pretty awesome, but I don't think that's going to happen.
You know what would be the best thing ever? If they just decided to backtrack on the abandoning of Scalebound, because that game looked fucking amazing, and I don't understand why they got rid of it.
Who knows why Microsoft does anything, okay?
I know, yeah.
I mean, they just have so much money because of their PCs, and they're like, hey, we're just going to shell it at everything. Oh, it didn't work. Oh, well. People are always going to buy PCs.
Oh, this one didn't work out for us. It's fine. We'll just make a new PC instead.
Yeah. Moving on, I guess. So that's our predictions of Ubisoft. Next is my most excited conference I look forward to, Sony.
Sony.
I'm a Sony fanboy. Not going to deny it. I'm really excited for Sony's press conference. They don't always have the best conference of every E3, but they do have more ability to stay consistent. I guarantee The Last of Us 2 is going to be there. It has to be.
Last of Us 2.
Yes. That has a lot of hype around it.
I don't really want there to be Last of Us 2, so I'm not going to talk about that.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think there could be more to the story of Ellie and Joel?
No, I was just kind of happy with The Last of Us.
I agree. I think it's a great standalone video game, but at the same time, it's Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog hasn't made a bad game.
Okay. But it's just kind of, I don't know. I kind of just hate it when they continue things that I'm happy with, because I'm the sort of person who's never really content with anything, and when I'm finally content, it feels great. If they make a new game and I don't feel happy at the end of this game, then I'm just it just spoils all of Last of Us for me.
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, but I have faith. If there is any company in the world that I know 100% will not let me down, it's Naughty Dog. I mean, everybody was super worried about Uncharted 4 in 2016. Everyone thought it was going to tank. It was going to be awful because the main writer, Amy Hennig, left the company.
Yeah.
And so everyone thought the story was going to be terrible. It was one of the best Uncharted games I've ever played. It's right up there with 2. 2 was the best, and then 4 is right next to it. Like, I go back and forth which one I like more.
I haven't played 4. That's the only one I haven't played. So
you haven't played it?
Nope.
You need to play it, Neo. It's Uncharted. It's seriously such a great game. Uncharted 4 was amazing. Like, think of some of the fun elements in The Last of Us. Think of the good, cool elements you had gameplay-wise in The Last of Us and put that in Uncharted. But still have the campiness of Uncharted.
Yeah, I'll have to give it a try.
Okay, so, I mean, but out of any developer in the world, the one developer I know will never let me down is Naughty Dog. So I have full faith that The Last of Us 2 is going to be fantastic. And I'm excited to see it.
I suppose we'll find out. If the game ends beautifully and I feel content again, then it's okay. But if it doesn't, then...
All right. Well, Sony has other games besides The Last of Us.
Days
What are
Gone.
game? Days Gone.
Days Gone.
That's the zombie game, right?
Yeah, I watched
Yeah.
the shit on that. That looks like it's gonna be a really cool zombie game. Like
They've been
it's
talking about that for years, though. You think they're gonna announce it?
yeah, why not? They've had shit release on it recently, haven't they? They got a few videos of the game out now.
Have they?
So
Oh, that's right. They did release some gameplay. So yeah, I could see. Do you think they'll release it this year or next year?
um, I don't know. My mind just blanked as you said that.
Okay. If they've already released gameplay, it could be this year. Maybe like later summer or fall. I would
Yeah.
say. Okay. Um. What else do you think is going to be on the Sony? I do think. Go ahead.
Call of Duty.
Well, of course, Call of Duty. Call of Duty's at every conference, dude. It just depends on which console. Is it going to be Microsoft or Sony? And the PS4 is the dominating console this generation, so it's Sony. Next year, we'll find out when the Xbox One X2 comes out, or the PlayStation 5. We'll see where Call of Duty lands then. But there's always a Call of Duty. That's such a safe bullshit answer. That's like saying there'll be Destiny 2 DLC stuff they're going to announce. Of course.
We're not talking about Destiny 2.
Well, I don't want to talk about it either. But I'm just saying, it's a staple that's guaranteed to be there.
Yeah.
I do think if Square Enix doesn't talk about Final Fantasy VII, Sony will. Because when they announced the remake, they did it on a Sony conference, not a Square Enix conference.
Mm-hmm.
If it isn't on Square Enix, it'll be on Sony's.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I was speaking with someone about Devil May Cry 5. Isn't that meant to be? Well, I mean, from what he was saying, he was telling me. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so they did the remake, and the remake had some really good positive reviews and then some mixed reviews. So you don't think they're going to continue from the remake series? They're going to go back to the old one?
I never played the remake. This is becoming a bit of a common.
I don't play games, guys, but here's my opinion on all of them.
I've just been in a bit of a competitive game thing within the past few years. So if it isn't competitive, I really haven't played it at the moment.
Okay.
I'm sorry, guys. I've just fallen away from the single player genre.
Though,
I'm sorry.
The last Devil May Cry game was on PS2. It was PS4.
Yeah.
It was Devil May Cry 4. It wasn't even about the main character anymore. It was like his cousin or brother or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they remade the game for the PS3.
Mm-hmm.
So well, you think they're going to continue the old series as opposed to a continuation off the remake?
I don't know. From what I was being told by this guy, yeah, he was saying that he thinks there's a Devil May Cry 5 coming up.
Interesting. A game I'm kind of excited about. One of my favorite developers, Sucker Punch. They did the Sly Cooper series and the Infamous series. Both games I regard highly. They're doing a new IP. They announced it at Tokyo Game Release, I believe, last year. And I think they're going to talk more about it this year. It's Ghost of Tsushima, or I'm probably saying it wrong. But it's like a Japanese samurai game.
Oh, I haven't heard about this.
And I love everything Sucker Punch has made. So
have they said anything about it so far? Do you know anything?
Yeah, the Tokyo Game Show, they released a trailer.
Oh.
So I think they might show actual gameplay at E3 here.
Yeah.
And it's one of Sony's bigger studios. You know, they have Naughty Dog, Sucker Punch, Insomnia, which Spider-Man 4, of course, Spider-Man's going to be
Spider-Man, yeah, Spider-Man.
That's, of course, going to be E3. I don't know why I never started with that, how much I love Spider-Man. But anyways, that's made by one of their in-house studios, so Sony has really good exclusives.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably why I look forward to their conference the most, because their exclusives are always solid. I mean, they have some missteps here and there, but for the most part, their in-house studios are really good.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Sony has to offer. They always have some good stuff on offer. That's why I'm a lover of Sony. Now,
last thing, and if you want, we can just gloss over this, not even talk about it, but the next day is Nintendo's conference. So, I mean...
Everyone
we can just not talk about it.
Yeah, everyone's kind of heard about us and Nintendo, so yeah,
I guess, to be fair, so I don't show bias, we'll talk about stupid Nintendo and their dumbass games. They're going to have some sort of Mario game. There's going to be a game with Mario in it. There, I predict that.
Yeah, kind of a given with Nintendo.
Smash Bros. I think there'll be a Smash Bros. Every time they release a new console, Smash Bros. Follows behind it.
Yeah, that's possible.
I'm pretty confident there'll be a Smash Bros. At the conference. Like, they're having a conference. They usually always do, like, this live TV bullshit.
I reckon there's going to be some indie game shit.
Oh, yeah, there'll be lots of indie games.
Because of this whole... They're really trying to push the indie games, so I think we'll be seeing a lot of indie stuff from them. I think
Smash Bros. Is probably going to be their big event. I think they won't do a Zelda game because they had one recently come out. Mm-hmm. Mario something. There's gonna be Smash Bros. And then Mario something.
Bros. And Mario.
And I think, I don't know. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna say they're gonna do something Donkey Kong. I think they're gonna do a Donkey Kong game. They haven't done one in a while. I think. I don't keep up with Nintendo because they're bullshit.
I feel like that's garbage. A really random statement. Like,
I'm doing it. I'm gonna go with Donkey Kong. What gives you the
idea of Donkey Kong?
I just haven't seen the last Donkey Kong game I remember playing was Donkey Kong 64, and I actually enjoyed that game. So,
well, in that case, the next Mario game is going to be another Mario and Sonic.
You think there's going to be another Mario Sonic competition game?
Yep. Why not?
What did they do? Was it the Olympics last time? They're going to do Winter Olympics this time. It's going to be Mario and Sonic Winter Olympics. Them having a brush across the ice while that little puck. I don't know anything about Winter Olympics. I don't watch them, but
I know what game you're on about. The one where they have to sweep the floor.
Yeah, they sweep the floor where the puck goes into. They have to get it in a certain pocket or whatever. There'll be
there's rings,
Sonic
and you have to get it as close to the middle one.
Yeah. I don't know what it's called.
No,
it makes me think of shuffleboard, but I know it's not shuffleboard. Yeah, there we go.
Maybe we'll get a bobsled.
Bobsled, there you go. So It's gonna be Mario and Sonic Winter Olympics. That game has to come out now.
I'm excited. This is gonna be great.
Has Skyrim come out on Nintendo yet?
Yeah.
Damn it! I was gonna say that's gonna be their next one too. Skyrim for Nintendo. Well, they already got that. I guess never mind then.
Ugh, Skyrim. Skyrim's a great game, but they just need to stop re-releasing it.
Skyrim being released on a Choose Your Adventure book near you.
That's Bethesda's cash cow, that one.
It's like a 5,000-page book. You find a cow. Do you kill it or do you sell it? Flip to page 312 if you kill it. Flip to page 519 if you sell it. That'd be a hell of a book. I'd probably buy that book, actually. If they released a Choose Your Own Adventure Skyrim book.
I wouldn't. I'd just play Skyrim.
I mean, just to have it, because you know it's going to be huge. It's going to be 5,000 pages.
Yeah, but I own Skyrim on every console except the Switch. I own it twice on PlayStation and twice on PC.
So then you have to buy it if it comes out in a book form. That way you can be like, I own all versions of Skyrim.
I don't have the Switch version. If I get a Switch, I will get it on Switch and then I'll get the book.
We're not talking about Switch. We're talking about the book, okay? You got to get the book.
What I'm saying is I don't have it on every console.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting it as a book. If I end up getting on every console, then yeah, I'll just fully commit and I'll just get it everywhere.
They're also gonna release Skyrim Tamagotchi version. You get a little baby dragon, oh, it pooped. Now it's hungry. Go murder a city. Its little notification noise would be first round down.
Okay, too far.
Too far. All right, fair enough. Okay, so those are all the conferences. We made a few game predictions of every conference. For you guys listening, comment down below. What's your favorite conference? Which one you're looking forward to? What are the 3 games you think they will show at the conference? So we talked about that. What's coming out? Is there anything you're overly hyped for that you want has to be released this year at E3?
No, not really.
I think I made mine clear. It's Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. You really want that. I'm just kind of casually accepting of any game that drops, and I'm just going to play them.
Okay.
At the moment, competitive is currently my scene, so, these games are just going to be on the side for me.
Now, last year, speaking of competitive, I don't know why it made me think of this, but last year E3 was kind of a total disaster. Most of E3 was super cringy and awkward, especially like the PC conference they had was like a talk show with like shows in between, and all the conference like tried to make like a concert out of it instead of just talking about games. They like, oh hey guys, fireworks! Let me jerk off in your face. We're giving away shit. Oh hey, we brought people from YouTube and other places to talk for us instead of just talking about our games. That's what happened in a nutshell in 2017.
Yeah, I did see some bits of it.
Like, they literally brought a YouTuber who doesn't even play video games. They didn't even bring a Let's Player. They didn't get, like, Markiplier or Jacksepticeye or PewDiePie or me. No, they didn't get any of them.
You.
Shut up. They didn't bring any of us there. Instead, they got his name is, like, Jesse something? I think he does, like, prank videos.
I thought it was, like, a vlogger.
Either way, like, he doesn't even play video games. And they had him come to E3, and he did terrible. I wonder why. You know?
It was perfect. He made E3 the statement of the year.
I know, but
I mean, it wasn't in a good way, but yeah.
It was so bad. I just hope they get rid of all the fluff bullshit and just gives us games this year. That's all I want, man. Like... But it brings me to the point. I thought of a fun game. Mm-hmm. Which conference do you think is going to be the best? Which do you think is going to be the worst? And how do you think they're going to be the best and the worst, Neo?
I think that Sony's going to be the best just because they have the most interesting titles that are coming. Well, or that I know of so far.
Okay.
And I think Ubisoft could be the worst if they don't have anything interesting going on.
Okay.
Like, just because it could turn out really boring. Like, say they don't talk about, like, I don't know, Anthem, or maybe they don't have any new interesting games and they just talk about their usual boring bullshit. Now, that'd make it pretty dead. Wait, no one wants to hear about sports games.
You said Ubisoft and then you were talking about EA. So you think EA is going to be the worst?
Yeah,
okay.
I meant EA, sorry.
Okay. All right, so I agree with Sony. I do think Sony's going to have the best conference because they typically are pretty well-rounded and they know, let's talk about games, okay? Mm-hmm. Occasionally they'll talk about whatever new dumb project they have, like Sony VR, or, hey guys, look, we have a PSP, and then they'll let that die after about a couple years. But for the most part, they stay on topic of games. So yeah, I do agree. I think they'll probably have the best. And the reason is either going to be Spider-Man PS4, Final Fantasy VII, or Last of Us. I think those are going to be like their biggest high notes, and people will go nuts for all three of those games. For the worst, though, I think I agree about EA. I think they could botch it up because they often are guilty of, hey guys, we're cool, aren't we? And
you don't believe us? Sports games!
Right, yeah, sports! But then Microsoft is also pretty infamous for that. However, Microsoft had a bad conference last year, and like I said, they kind of sometimes have good ones because they learn their lessons, and then they forget those lessons the year after. So maybe Microsoft has a chance to be good, but at the same time, they have the exact same chance to be like, we're Microsoft! Look at our dicks!
If Bethesda mentions Skyrim even once, they're the worst. Like, I'm done. I can't.
Alright. I'm gonna... If Bethesda mentions Skyrim, I'm gonna make a video just for you of how many times they mention Skyrim.
Bro, you didn't realize that would be your longest video?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll do it.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
But no, I agree. I think EA probably has the most potential. But Microsoft's right behind them. Microsoft's gonna be, hey, they have some good games releases, they focus on the right topics, or it's gonna be like a shit show where like, guess what, guys? We have sports, Battlefield, and check out Cortana on Xbox. That'll probably be the next big thing. You can talk to her, because they like to do that. So
yeah,
we'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Do you think, as a conference, a whole conference, E3 is going to be better than last year. I know you didn't pay too much attention to E3 last year, but it was all over the news. Like, it was just not a great conference.
From what I've seen, as long as they learn their lesson, then it should be less embarrassing of a conference. I don't know about better, but definitely less embarrassing.
Okay, fair enough. More professional, you would think?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think all these companies try too hard to be relatable when ultimately, as gamers, we don't care about that.
we just want games.
Exactly.
Just give us games.
It's in the name of our stereotype. We're gamers. Like, that's it. Just give us games. We don't care if anybody even talks. If you just show us 3 hours of trailers of games, we'll be satisfied.
I have genuinely sat there and watched 3 hours, if not longer, of trailers before. Like, I've just done that for entertainment, so I can say as a gamer, yeah, we enjoy doing that sort of stuff.
Like, people talking over the game, sure, have a guy talk over the game, but show us gameplay. We don't care otherwise, you know? And that's all we want. We don't need this fancy giveaway bullshit. We don't need a YouTuber who doesn't even play video games talking to us.
Well, I don't mind giveaways. I like free things. But, I mean, the rest of it is not okay.
If they do bring on another YouTuber ever in the future, E3, I know you're not a single person, but I'm talking to you as you're an individual. E3, if you ever bring another YouTuber, bring a Let's Player. Make it somebody.
I'd like someone who knows about gaming. Not just I agree. Someone who really knows about gaming.
Yes, but it has to be someone who's willing to be in front of a camera. Like, here's the thing. Yeah. When you go to, like, YouTube conferences or anime conventions or any kind of conventions, Let's Players are comfortable talking in front of other people because that's all they do. Yeah, they talk in front of a camera. And while, a vlogger talks in front of a camera, too, it's different. That's it. That's all I got. I'm done ranting. So, that's our podcast, everybody. Like, we talked about E3, we talked about some esports, what's coming out, what we're excited about, what we think is going to be busting out. What do you guys think is going to bust? What conference are you looking forward to the most? Which ones do you think is going to suck? Do you have any parting words, Neo?
Gaming's fun. I need sleep. AIDS is not good.
There you go. There you go, everybody. You heard it straight from the horse's mouth. Well, everybody, thanks for listening. Check out my channel, Zeo Plays. Go check out Game, Geeks Actively Making Entertainment. Neo, my co-host, thank you for being with me.
It's okay, bro.
And we're going to see you guys next Sunday. And I release videos daily in June. And maybe after that. We'll see. So, bye.
Bye.